I wanted to make this, but ended up making this. This is PowerDock. This has a switch to turn on the PC. Along with that, it includes a pen drive storage, a wireless charger for my watch, a USB 3.0 port. These buttons and switches open the compartments, and some RGB lighting. And they can also be locked with a key so no one can mess with my setup. This is how it started. My PC is placed above, so every time I want to turn it on, I have to either climb on my bed or do a full stretch. So I thought, why not make a switch that I can keep on my desk? That way, I can turn on my PC without doing stunts. I made a basic switch, but then I looked at it and thought, this is too simple. Let's make it complicated. That's when I got the idea to build this PowerDock. So I started searching for design inspiration. After 2 days of scrolling, watching reels, and taking research naps, I finally found it. A car center console. That's when things got serious. I added storage for my pen drive, a slot to place my watch charger, and of course, some RGB. But I still wasn't done. I decided to add toggle style switches that can unlock the storage and charger sections. So I used rubber bands to create an automatic sliding mechanism. I also added a key system that locks the switches. So without the key, nothing works. What I thought would be a quick project ended up taking about a month. After so many iterations and corrections, I finally got everything working the way I wanted. I wanted a Lamborghini style start switch. But instead of lifting the cap manually, I wanted it to open automatically when I press the button. So I designed this sliding mechanism and added a rubber band to help the cap pop up on its own. The button is locked using this switch, and when this part moves down, it releases the lock and cap pops open. I also added a hole for a mechanical switch and designed a plus shaped cap that fits inside it. It has 3 parts: the casing, the stick, and a pin. I'm using a piece of filament as a pin. The stick only moves downward, and the rubber band brings it back to its original position. This mechanism consists of a knob, a shaft, casing, and a guide pin. I added a slot in the shaft to limit the movement to about 4 mm. The rubber band acts like a spring and wraps around the casing. This part attaches to the shaft and locks the cap mechanism. This has 3 parts: a knob, a casing, and a shaft. I kept the knob design simple, with a hole that directly slides into the switch, so there is no need for any extra mechanism. Just turning the knob slides the switch and turns the RGB on and off. This is the key, designed with a unique shape. The bottom features cutouts of varying heights, so it must be aligned correctly to allow rotation. To make alignment easier, I added a guiding slot that helps position the key accurately. To prevent over-rotation, I limited the movement to 30 degrees by incorporating a slot mechanism. When the key is rotated, the bottom section turns, causing this part to slide back and forth. This sliding motion pushes against the button, restricting movement. However, I noticed that when force was applied to the stick, the lock tended to shift. To fix this, I introduced a cutout at the bottom and added an extrusion to hold it firmly in place. I also included a spring mechanism. Now the key needs to be pushed to unlock, and when engaged, it prevents any movement, ensuring the lock remains secure. I initially wanted to make it like a drawer, but then I got the idea of a cannon style holder that rises when the drawer is fully opened and drops back down when it's closed. This makes it much easier to place and remove the pen drive. The lifting motion is controlled by a string attached to this part and tied at the back. When you pull the drawer out, the string pulls this part up. When you push the drawer back in, it drops down on its own due to its weight. To keep the movement smooth, I added a rail-like guide for the tray. I also used a rubber band to help the drawer slide out automatically. And when you press the stick, the tray unlocks and pops out. The charger part was pretty simple. I just added a hole and a channel for the cable. It also uses a similar mechanism as the USB tray. When you press the stick, it pops out. I took the dimensions and made this, and surprisingly, the fit was perfect on the first try. Guess sometimes miracles do happen. This also has support directly printed as a part of the casing, and the cables runs through this hole at the back. I added RGB so that I can add switch to turn it on and off. I am powering this RGB from PSU through Molex connector from my old PC fan. I made this splitter to connect the switches, so both the cabinet switch and this external switch can work together. Instead of wiring the switch directly to the PC, I made it a detachable plug. That way, it's easy to remove the PowerDock whenever needed. I added this just for aesthetics. It's inspired by a car's bumper splitter. After all that thinking and way too many test prints, this is the final version.